W7 Productions here live with Coach Mallory Liebel of the Brookfield Central Lancers. Coach, welcome to basketball tonight.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So, big home game tonight, big rivalry game. How are you feeling about the game tonight?
We're excited about it. Obviously, we love this night with the boys playing after and just kind of getting the community is here. It's fun. So we're excited about it. We obviously right now are trying to continue to get better. I know Brookfield East, their record might not show it, but they're a good basketball team, and we always enjoy playing them.
You guys have had an up and down start here so far. What are the keys tonight? What are you looking for from the girls for as far as growth and progress goes?
We just kind of want to be able to look to put together a complete game. We haven't done that yet. We've showed some really, really good things, and we just got to keep getting better. We're really young. And that's not an excuse to lose games, but we're still trying to figure out how to practice consistently and work hard, which we know will happen then in a game.
Anna Mortag's been the leader of the team so far. They're really going. Thoughts on her performance so far this year?
She's obviously a really good player. Her stats show that, but she's really stepped up as more of a vocal leader for us this year, and I think that's helped her elevate her game a little bit, but she's a really, really good basketball player, and she's only getting better.
Great. Coach, good luck in tonight's game. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
We're going to end with one shining moment, which is a summary of the 2017-18 season for W7. I want to thank all of you for coming along on this ride with us this year and for supporting us. It's been absolutely fantastic for us. We have absolutely had the greatest time you can ever imagine. You'll see that in the next 3 minutes. Enjoy one shining moment. Enjoy the postseason. And we will see you in November of 2018 as we begin the 2018-19 WIAA girls basketball season. From all of us at W7 Live, thank you for a great season and good night.
And there you are, you're running for your life, you're a shooting star. And all the years, no one knows just how hard you worked.
Fritz to Nelson, drives in, there it is! 1,000 points, Alyssa Nelson.
Congratulations to Jada Jansen, all-time leading scorer in Sun Prairie Cardinals history.
But time is short and the road is long.
Up off the glass, Natalie Jens for two.
That moment's gone.
Kaylee Tashoni for three.
Win or lose, you always did your best.
Valero long three. Jimmy for three.
That in one shining moment, you reached deep inside. One shining moment, you knew.
CJ Romero. Lauren Schill for three.
Of your heart, feel the wind in your face. It's more
Julia Hintz, wow.
It's more than a race.
The West Dallas Hale Huskies are your 2017-18 GMC champions.
And when it's done, win or lose, you always did your best.
A second earlier and Brookfield Central would be celebrating.
One shining moment, you reach for the sky. In a one shining moment, you knew, yeah. In a one shining moment, you're willing to try. In a one shining
And the New Berlin Eisenhower Lions have won and are going to the state tournament.
one shining moment.
W7 Live. We are live on Sunday night, coming to you to reveal the 2018-19 girls basketball schedule on W7. And I have to, first of all, thank all of you for joining. And I'm just going to warn you right now, if you want to be in a hurry and have me fly through this thing, I'm not going to do that. What I would suggest is go ahead and watch the replay later, and you're free to skim through as much as you'd like. But I'm going to take time tonight and go through this. And I actually have the chat windows up also, so if you want to comment or ask questions, that type of thing, I want to keep it, somewhat informal. Love to hear from you guys, and love to see so many of you joining already. And I just got to say to start out that I could not be more surprised and excited by the amount of interest that we've been able to build, not just for our program in general, but for this, even for this program, for this episode, the amount of interest that you guys have in the reveal of a schedule. I mean, we're not talking about doing games here. We're talking about, this is like when the NFL schedule comes out. I mean, I'm shocked at how much interest there is and how many people have messaged me and called me and texted me and said how excited they are to see this and to just be a part of it. And this really belongs to all of us. So I consider you all shareholders and with me, and we're in this journey together. So it's great having you guys here. I hope you enjoyed tonight. Again, we're going to take our time and go through the schedule. We will have the entire schedule posted online. I would say tomorrow we'll have that done. I don't have it done yet, but I didn't want to put it up ahead of time because I know some of you cheaters would have went and peeked at it. So I didn't want you to do that until we'd actually done it. We're going to give some prizes away tonight. So we're excited to do that from the W7 swag bag. So we'll do 3 or 4 drawings tonight. We've got all of your names and everybody that retweeted and liked and everything else on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all those other things. We took note of it, put your names together, and we'll have a couple drawings tonight for some prizes to get out to you guys. So let me first of all start with talking about what's going on right now and what's coming up tomorrow. For those of you tuned in, tomorrow is the first day of volleyball season, and what we really consider January 1st for us. So the new year begins tomorrow. So this is New Year's Eve. Tomorrow is New Year's Day, and no college bowl games on, but we're going to start volleyball practice tomorrow. And for those of you that have kept up with us, you know that this is our first year in doing volleyball. So it's a new experience for us, and we ask for the same patience that you guys were so great in giving us in basketball and lacrosse and softball. We're going to give it a try, see how it goes. I can't tell you how many messages and calls we got from coaches, and I'll point out a couple by name. So Megan Miller at Waukesha North, and especially Kelly Dwyer at Wauwatosa West have been beating the drum for W7 to do volleyball, and we love it when you guys do that. We love it because it shows how much passion and interest there is around the sport. So with that kind of demand, hey, we're all in. Again, you'll have to bear with us, and we'll stumble. We always do. You guys know that, but you guys are always so great at forgiving us when we do. So looking forward to doing volleyball this year. We're going to start August 28th at Brookfield Central, and if you were part of our fundraiser this summer, you do know that Brookfield Central is the W7 home team for 2018-19. Biggest fundraiser from the Lancers of all the schools during our fundraising campaign last year, and haven't had a chance to talk to everybody personally, but let me just say corporately at least, thank you a million times over for your support of our fundraiser that we did this summer. Our goal was around 8,000, and I will tell you, all in, we're looking closer to 12,000. And what that tells me, again, is the interest is there, the demand is there, and I get the Journal and everybody else is bailing out on prep sports, and I guess that's their choice. But clearly, you guys are showing, hey, there's a demand for this, and what we're doing. I know the girls appreciate it, and for us, that's the main reason that we do it. I mean, for the girls, it's a nice tagline, but it's really how we feel and how much it means to us. So, okay, all the sappy stuff out of the way, but volleyball coming up August, end of the month, Wauwatosa East and Brook Central, and August 30th, we'll be traveling to Waukesha North as Akamwalk takes on the North Stars on August 30th. Hey, Drew Pellin, good to see you. And then in September, we will have 5 games in September, starting on September 11th, Menominee Falls and Wauwatosa West. And again, I will tell you that the fan base at both West and Menominee Falls has been such strong supporters and saying, hey, come out and do a game with us. We'd love to have you. We'll roll out the red carpet and everything else. And we had a fantastic experience with Menominee Falls softball this spring and summer. For those of you that follow us know that we loved being around that program and the kids. And we were told, hey, we'll have just as much fun in volleyball. So we're going to do a couple of volleyball games with the Falls this year. One on 9/11 at Wauwatosa West. On 9/13, we will go to Hartford. Have our first ever game in the North Shore Conference. It'll be volleyball, Slinger, and Hartford. And again, Slinger, I cannot say enough great things about the support that we've got from Slinger. We'll talk about that as we move along here this evening. And then another one, Menominee Falls, and then back to Slinger again, and then Brook Central. That's kind of the theme. And then in October, we'll close out the season, October 11th, Wauwatosa West and West Allis Hale. And those of you that know, again, that follow us know, what big fans we are of West Allis Hale as well. So I'm really excited about volleyball this year. And again, if you know anybody that's interested in doing being a guest analyst for volleyball, I would absolutely take all the help I could get. So if you're a youth coach, if you're a JV coach, or if you're a freshman coach, something like that, and you have an interest in picking up a headset and helping me get educated and sharing your expertise of volleyball with our viewers, we'd love to have you. And I can tell you from all of our coaches that have done this, that have come on and been analysts for us, they've all had, at least what they've told me, it's a fantastic time, and every one of them want to sign up for this year for basketball. So you'll have a great time. We'll have fun together. I promise I won't put you on the spot too much. And really what I'm looking for you to do is just share your expertise of volleyball with our viewers, because my expertise could fit in probably a sardine can. So look forward to getting some interest there. Let us know, Twitter, Facebook, or email us, whatever you want, and let us know, because we'd love to have you. So that's volleyball. That's coming up August 28th will be our first volleyball game of the year. And I think right now what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break here, and we should do a little prize drawing and get a prize out of the way. So let me cue the music here. And we'll do a drawing to see who's going to win our first prize. This will be a W7 t-shirt, a Florida Girls t-shirt, a Superfan t-shirt, and the winner is going to be Jim Reuter from the Pewaukee Pirates. Coach Reuter is our first winner tonight. Coach, these shirts will definitely not fit you, but I'm sure you've got somebody in your life that would enjoy it. So we'll get in touch with you and work on getting that over to you as quickly as we can. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be right back.
Music has always been what feelings sound like. Something that brings people together in the moment.
Well, Jim Reuter from Pewaukee, you are our winner for our first drawing tonight. And I think our music is a little bit loud, so I'll probably can that going forward. We'll do a couple more drawings yet tonight. But let's get into basketball as we come back from our first break tonight. And also want to just shout out, if you saw this commercial that was right before, DJ Shauna from One-on-One Milwaukee, and also a very prominent DJ. She actually did the Women's Final Four last year. Shauna has agreed to come and be a analyst for us for at least one game this year. I'm going to see if I can talk her into several if I can, because I'd love to have her as part of our team. And she's just, if you know her, I mean, she's an amazing person. So dare to be, Shauna. We're looking forward to getting together and doing some some sports together this year. So let's talk first of all about girls basketball by the numbers, and what this is it's kind of an overview of what our season looks like, and this is for 2018-19. And when we get done with this, you're probably going to think we're crazy, but well, maybe we are. So we're going to visit 25 venues this year. 49 of the teams that we're going to cover are going to make their first ever appearance on W7 Live. We're going to do 64 games in 2018-19. Last year we did 27. So we're more than doubling our output for 2018-19. We are going to have 67 teams that will have at least one game on W7 Live this year. 67. That is a ridiculous number. And we're really excited about it. It's a great number. We love it. There are 94 days in the 2018-19 regular season. So our first game is November 13th. Our last game is February 15th. There's 94 days from the first to the last. And we're going to do 64 games in those 94 days. The distance between our two furthest venues is 239 miles, which means if you go to the furthest west, if you go from the furthest west to the furthest east, it's 239 miles from one to the other. We're going to meet at least 804 girls basketball players in the 2018-19 season. Again, just a crazy, crazy number. 2,880, that's the number of miles that will travel this season covering girls basketball. And then too many to count the number of smiles we'll see from girls basketball players, coaches, ADs, and families. And let me just say real quick, obviously we have such a strong admiration for coaches, and we do this for the players and love seeing the families. But one group that I think often gets overlooked and are so important to us, and they're really our day-to-day, is the athletic directors. If you contact us, ask us to do a game, the first thing I'm going to do is call your athletic director and see if that's something that they're interested in, because they're the ones that have to get the facilities ready. They're the ones that have to meet us and make sure that we have what we need. And I will tell you, to a person, we've had such a fantastic experience with all of our athletic directors, and we're so pleased to have the relationships that we have, that we do have with them. And just a couple by name: Jordan Napoli from New Berlin West, Don Kurth from Brookfield Central, and Kevin Fitzgerald from New Berlin Eisenhower. We so appreciate you guys for all the support that you've given us this past year, and we thank you for that. So that's a look at by the numbers. Now let's get into the actual meat of the schedule, and we'll start here. Our season opener, I think most of you know this. Our season opener is going to be November 13th, and it's going to be at West Dallas Hale, and it'll be between the Greendale Panthers and the West Dallas Hale Huskies. So we're going to start out at Hale, almost where we ended our season in 2016-17. We were there when Hale won the Greater Metro Conference last year, and really enjoyed our time with them. And we're really looking forward to meeting with Greendale this year. We actually did a game over the summer with them, with their varsity team in the Varsity Invitational that Wisconsin Impact held. So excited to see Coach Hogan and the Panthers as they take on the West Dallas Hale Huskies, and that is November 13th. So that is, I believe, about 86 days from now, so it's going to be here really soon. Road trips, we're going to take 3 big road trips this year. James and I love road trips, so we're going to do 3 big ones. November 17th, Jasmine Kondrakiewicz, if you're on, which you better be, we are going to be following you and your Pius Lady Popes up to Kimberly. We're going to go do Pius and Kimberly on November 17th in Kimberly. So that is definitely a haul for us, and we're really excited to go up and meet the paper makers and to go support Pius and the girls up there. Dan Carey, so Coach Carey is a coach at Pius. Coach Carey is going to join us as our guest analyst for that event. So we'll be in Kimberly November 17th. Coach Carey's going to come up with us, and we'll do that game live at Kimberly High School on November 17th. And for you football fans out there, November 16th is actually the Division I state championship game for football in Madison, which Kimberly routinely seems to attend. So it could be the day after the boys play at state football that the girls will be playing Pius at Kimberly. So look for us at Kimberly November 17th. Our next road trip, we're going to Iowa. we're going to go to Dubuque, Iowa, Loras College, as the Slinger Owls take on the Dubuque Hempstead Mustangs. And that'll be live from Loras College, and we're actually going to partner with Radio Dubuque. Radio Dubuque does a lot of play-by-play of games. We're looking at doing some sort of simulcast with them. We don't have all the details worked out yet, but we're having conversations with them to see if we can do something together in Dubuque. But we'll be going with Coach Dobson and the girls over to Dubuque to call that game live December 15th from Loras College, Dubuque Hempstead, and Slinger. And that'll be our first game of several with Slinger. We'll talk about our games with the Owls this year, and just really so appreciate the Slinger family and how welcoming they've been to us, and you know, folding us right in right away. Special thanks to Mike Daniels, athletic director, and of course Coach Dobson. We're excited to be part of the Hootie Nation this year. February 5th, if Jaden Simmons and Tiffany are on, we'll be in Green Bay with Coach Barkley and the Lady Trojans. February 5th, when you guys take on Sheboygan North. And I think if you followed us, you know that Tiffany Simmons has been such a huge supporter of ours, and you know, we have a great relationship with her and Coach Barkley and Cordero Barkley, who runs the Purple Aces in Green Bay. So we're looking forward to going up to Green Bay and covering Sheboygan North at Green Bay Southwest, and that's February 5th. So look for that. Okay, I'm going to take a breath, and we're going to go on to the next one here. How's everybody doing? Can everybody hear me all right? Everything sound okay? Hopefully it does. Give me a thumbs up, or you know, something that, just to let me know that you guys all hear me all right out there. I'm sure that you do, but just to make sure. So another new addition this year. Let's talk about this one. Monona Grove. We got a call from one of the coaches at Monona Grove and said, "Boy, we'd love to have you guys come out and do something with us. You know, would you be interested?" And we said, "Well, of course we'd be interested. We love going to meet new friends and just again spreading the word of W7 around." And Coach Etheridge was very excited to put something together for us and have us come out there. So we're actually going to be out at Monona Grove. We're going to do 3 games with the Eagles this year. December 8th at Milwaukee Academy of Science. Shamara Williams, if you're on, we're coming to see you December 8th. And I've talked to your superintendent and the athletic director there, and they've both been so extremely welcoming, and they're really excited for us to come out, and we're very excited to be there. So we'll come and see you, Shamara, and your teammates December 8th as you guys host Monona Grove. That's a Saturday game. December 20th, we'll be going to Watertown. If you followed us during the postseason in basketball last year, you probably remember Coach Stolberg. Matt Stolberg was one of our guest analysts for the Pius New Berlin Eisenhower game. Jasmine, sorry to bring that game up. Probably not a great memory for you guys, but you did play super well. I will tell you that. I was really impressed with how you guys played. But Coach Stolberg was our guest analyst for that game, and he is the head coach at Watertown, also a coach for Wisconsin Havoc. And a quick shout out to Brian and Havoc, and just the support that they've given us has been through the roof. It's ridiculous. We're huge Havoc fans. Everybody that's been around us knows that. January 12th, we will also be covering a game from Monona Grove, and we'll talk about, it says to be determined, I'll tell you why in just a couple minutes. And then February 9th, we'll do a home game with Monona Grove when they play Madison La Follette at home on February 9th. So we'll get to cover a home game with the Eagles on the 9th. Looking forward to that. So that's a new friend that we have this year that we're adding to our schedule. And now I wouldn't say an old friend, but a very good friend of ours, and a great friend of the program, the New Berlin West Lady Vikings. Certainly going through some changes this year from a player standpoint. I think everybody knows we were very close to the seniors that departed this year. We wish them all the best, and as they move forward, Alyssa Nelson going to play for Wisconsin Parkside. Her and Hannah Plockelman, Bo Plockelman from Eisenhower. So they'll be teammates now at Parkside. And I talked to Alyssa at graduation and told her we'd do our best to get down and catch a Parkside game this year, just to see her and Hannah and see how they're doing. So we definitely love them and want to support them as they move on to the next level, and know they'll do fantastic. So in the meantime, we're going to be covering 2018-19 Lady Viking basketball, November 24th, when they play Greenfield. That's going to be at the Brookfield Central Shootout, and we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. And then January 2nd, we'll be at Whitefish Bay when the Lady Vikings take on the Dukes of Whitefish Bay. That's January 2nd. New athletic director over there, Jeff Rosella, former head coach at Divine Savior Holy Angels. now the AD for Whitefish Bay. Just exchanged messages with Coach Borzella yesterday, and he's excited for us to come out. And again, we're thrilled for the opportunity to go there. So we'll be covering a couple Lady Vikings games this year as well. So let's move on. Staying in the Woodland Conference, Pewaukee. We did a couple games. We did 2 games with Pewaukee last year. One was a Brookfield Central game on senior night for Brookfield Central, and the second was a regional final against New Berlin West. Great game, and Pewaukee just came up on the short end of the stick, unfortunately, on that one. But great game by both teams, and I know Coach Reuter taking over the helm at Pewaukee is excited about the opportunity he has ahead of him, and we're excited to cover some Pewaukee Pirates basketball. We'll be doing 2 games for sure. November 20th, we'll be at Wauwatosa East as the Pirates play Wauwatosa East in a non-conference game. And then December 29th, we'll be at Pewaukee for the consolation and championship game of the Pewaukee Holiday Tournament. That tournament includes Oak Creek, Kimberly, Brookfield Central, and Pewaukee. So we'll cover 2 games. The winners will play each other from the 28th, and then the 2 that did not win will play each other as well. So we'll cover both of those games on the 29th. So for sure we'll have a game from Pewaukee there, and this will be 2 with the Pirates this year. So sticking in the Woodland Conference, Greenfield. If you've followed us this year, you saw that we had conversations with Coach Mary Merg, the new head coach at Greenfield, coming over from Wauwatosa East. She was assistant coach under Coach Hendricks, now running her own program for Greenfield. We're going to do 3 games with Greenfield this year. The first one we've talked about earlier will be against New Berlin West on November 24th. That's the Brookfield Central Shootout. December 14th at home when they play Milwaukee Lutheran, and then January 18th at home against Cudahy. So that's the rivalry game, and that was the one that Coach Merg actually circled on our calendars. We'd love to have you guys out for this one. So we said absolutely we'd be there for that. So that one we will be at Greenfield for on January 18th. So that's a quick look at the Woodland Conference. Let's move on now and talk about our new friends at Slinger. We've got a busy schedule with Slinger this year, and for those of you that don't know, Slinger was extremely active very late in our fundraiser this year, and we're so excited about the opportunity for us to name Slinger as the home team. It didn't quite work out, but we were so impressed with just the passion that the Hootie Nation has, and I talked to Coach Dobson and to Mr. Daniels and said, hey, I know you guys didn't win, but we still want to do a lot of stuff with you guys this year. And so we're excited to do that. We're actually going to cover the Slinger season opener November 16th when you guys play Kettle Marine Lutheran. We're going to go on the road with you when you play West Bend East. I've already talked to the AD at West Bend East. He's excited for us to come out and has given us the thumbs up on that. And then we talked about going to Iowa December 15th together. So you're going to get a good week with us the week of December 12th, as we'll be hanging out with you guys. And then February 1st, a very special evening at Slinger. We'll be hosting Hartford, which is always special in itself. But also on top of that, it's going to be a girls and boys doubleheader that night at Hartford. At Slinger against Hartford. So we're going to do both games. We're going to do the girls game and the boys game. And I think some of you know I'm from Oconomowoc, and the boys coach is Alex Levine, and Alex is a friend of mine from Oconomowoc. He's now the head boys coach at Slinger. Great coach. You guys are really, really lucky to have him. And Mr. Daniels did a great job in bringing him over from Oconomowoc, and I know he's going to do a great job at Slinger. So we're excited to go up and call a Slinger game on February 1st, a boys game. And then we'll come back on February 14th. What would be a better place to be than Slinger on Valentine's Day? We'll be there February 14th, Valentine's Day, as you guys host Grafton. It'll be senior night, and which is always a very memorable and emotional night for the kids, the parents, and the coaches. And sadly enough, most of all us, we get really emotional on senior night. So we're looking forward to being part of that celebration of those seniors. And it's a very special group of girls. I've met them already. We met at the Wisconsin Impact Tournament this summer, and we just could not be more excited about covering Slinger basketball this year, and volleyball as well. And we also went to the softball state tournament this year, and we didn't get to broadcast it, but we were there to watch Slinger get a big win over Oak Creek. in the semifinals. Weren't able to advance in the finals, but a great season for Slinger and a lot of great things happening in Slinger. So again, excited to be part of that and to join you all for those events coming up this year. Okay, another quick breath here. Looks like we're doing okay. Does anybody have any questions? Anything you want to ask? We're going to take a quick break here and do another drawing for another prize. I'm not going to play the music this time because it blasted me out of my chair the last time, but we're going to do a drawing. This will be for a W7 t-shirt and a pair of W7 earbuds. So it's a twofer here. And again, I've got everybody. So if you retweeted us, if you liked the post that we put up about this show, we got your name down and put it in a drawing. And now we're going to draw to see who our next prize winner is. And it's going to be Becky Stevens from West Dallas. Hail. Becky Stevens, you are our winner. So congratulations, Coach Stevens. And we'll get that out to you. We'll get in touch with you as far as getting logistics and getting it out to you. But congratulations, Becky Stevens. You are the winner of a W7 Superfan t-shirt. So enjoy that. All right, let's get back to our schedule here. You guys are all so quiet. Hopefully you're all still following along. We have a good number of folks online, so that's good. Glad to see that. I'm going to just check Facebook real quick and see if there's any comments I should be aware of. I don't think there are. Coach Sotiros, as always, excited to have you as a guest analyst for us. You know, one thing I'm worried about with you and I doing games together is we're going to get off on so many sidetracks that people are going to have to tell us, hey, ding dongs, there's a game going on. Can you call the game? So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But Coach, we're really looking forward to working with you this year in volleyball and basketball both. I'm really excited that you want to help us out and join us. So we're thrilled to have you. And while we're on that subject, let me just take a quick pause here because September 16th, and I don't have a graphic for this, but September 16th. We are going to be at Kettle Moraine High School. This is on a Sunday from 8:30 in the morning until 12:30 in the afternoon. And Coach Sotiros, as well as head coach Mallory Liebel from the Brookfield Central Lancers, will be joining us to cover the With Sportsnet girls basketball showcase, which is on September 16th from 8:30 to 12:30. It's a set of games that With Sports puts teams together for that morning. College recruiters and coaches come out. They've never had it live streamed before. We are the first ones to ever live stream it. We're also the exclusive live streamer for that event, and we are really excited. We worked with Travis Wilson at With Sports to get that set up, and we're really excited to go out there. So the reason that we did it is because we know a lot of times that some of these coaches and recruiters can't make it, Kettle Moraine or our area for whatever reason, and this will be an opportunity for them to see the girls in an online type environment. And again, if you know us, we're really about promoting these girls and making sure that we get as many eyeballs on their play as possible. And so this is a way to extend that, and we're really thrilled to do that. So look for that coming up on September 16th. Coach Liebel, Coach Sotiros, and myself. I've already been instructed by both coaches to have a full cooler of Diet Coke on ice, and I've already got the orders in and ready, so we will make sure that you guys are hooked up for that for sure, and looking forward to the three of us getting together. And with that, we're going to take a quick break here. We have an interview that we did with head coach Mallory Liebel from the Brookfield Central Lancers this afternoon. She was actually on a boat. I don't know what lake she was on, but she sent me a picture, and it looks really peaceful. But we talked some girls basketball, some club basketball, as well as the upcoming season with the Lancers. I want to air that for you. It's about 5 minutes in length, so I'm going to take a quick break and get a drink of water, and we'll let you listen to Coach Liebel, and we'll be right back. Glad to have you aboard with us. Enjoy this, and we'll be right back.
So you're not only the high school varsity coach, but you also coach a club team, which is Wisconsin Rap. Club ball certainly is an important element in basketball, but it seems like, again, this is just to me that it's taking on a greater significance. I mean, my history has always been club ball is there to support and help develop kids for their high school basketball team. But it seems like that's not necessarily the attitude in the culture today, at least in some organizations. What are your thoughts as far as, club ball versus varsity high school basketball?
I think a lot of times, club basketball is looked at and frowned upon in a way because unfortunately the culture is changing where club basketball is not like it used to be, where it really was to help kids develop and get better for their high school season. And, being part of both as a varsity coach and a club coach, I try to keep that in the forefront. And, with Wisconsin Rap and my involvement, I'm really lucky because they allow me to be very involved with the decisions that we make, at least at our level. And I'm able to make sure that our girls' high school team comes first, that their high school coach, regardless if their, philosophy is a little bit different than what I'm trying to coach, that their high school coach is just as, it's not wrong. And, I try to make sure that we're doing stuff that kind of goes hand in hand with the high school teams and programs. But it's definitely different. I think you've got kids that they look at club ball and, it doesn't matter to them if they win or lose. They're out there, because they want to get exposure. And there's nothing wrong with getting exposure. I think, as you get into the high school level of club basketball, the main purpose is development and exposure. And there are some programs that do a great job of making sure that those are the two things. But it's just a different culture.
If there was a game Friday, you're ready to go.
I mean, I'm already watching film like I do in the middle of the season, so it's never too soon for me. But we are so excited to have so many of our games on W7 and have you be, involved in part of what we're doing. I just think it's so important, and just the work that you guys are doing is unbelievable. I know that we were one of your first games back in early December, probably against Brookfield.
It seems like longer than a year ago, but really it'll be a year on December 6th. And in fact, you guys will be playing Brookfield East on December 7th this year, I believe is what it is. And we're going to cover both girls and boys. So that'll be basically our 1-year anniversary, believe it or not.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just everything that, you've been able to do. And it's just so appreciated, not just by, me and our program, but so many people. It's just, I never would have imagined that when you guys did that game of ours against Brookfield East that, we'd be sitting here talking how we are now. And I just remember thinking how awesome that night was, and just being able to watch it. That was what I watched initially on that when I went home that Friday night. And just be able to, watch it in that kind of in that way. It's a different dynamic. And I know personally as a coach, I learn a lot actually watching it, that way. And it's just such a fun experience for the kids and for the girls. And, I'm very excited that you're able to do, what you're doing. It's just such a great thing.
Well, I always say we take more than we give, but I do appreciate it. And we're going to do 64 games this year in 94 days, which people look at me sideways when I tell them that. But that's how passionate we are about girls high school basketball. And we're obviously ready to get started. We're going to do volleyball first. We'll do a few games there, but then it's full steam ahead. Coach, I'll let you get back onto the lake and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. But I want to thank you for making time for us today, and look forward to catching up with you soon. And go Lancers!
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right, Coach. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for the time.
Yep, thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Great chat with Coach Liebel. Appreciate her time and and knowledge of the game. And again, she does that balancing act of club and high school. I think she does it extremely well. So thrilled to partner with her and the Lancers, and more to come on that. So let's talk about holiday tournaments. 3 big ones that we're going to cover this year. First of all is the Sun Prairie Holiday Tournament. This is our second year in a row covering this tournament. This is the same teams as it was last year: DeForest, New Berlin Eisenhower, Sun Prairie, and Green Bay Southwest. Last year we were fortunate enough, it was in DeForest. We were fortunate enough last year that we were able to be there when Jada Jansen broke the all-time scoring record for Sun Prairie girls basketball, and what a great event that was. And Green Bay Southwest ended up winning the game at the very end, the championship game, and with a bunch of sophomores and 1 senior. And so they'll be back bigger and badder than ever this year. So we're looking forward to going over to Sun Prairie this year. We spoke with Athletic Director Eric Nee, who gave us the thumbs up to come over to Sun Prairie, so we're really thrilled about that. We will be covering the championship and consolation game of the Pewaukee Holiday Tournament on December 29th. We talked about that. Oak Creek, Brookfield Central, Kimberly, and Pewaukee. So looking forward to come over to Pewaukee. That'll be our first visit over there this year with Coach Reuter and the girls, and KO, as I call her, Kennedy Osterman, and Kennedy's probably on. So KO, looking forward to seeing you at that event as well. And then a very special event, January 5th, the annual Hank Raymond's Classic, and a big thanks to Coach Dan Carey from Pius in securing us an invitation to come out and live stream that event. That's going to be on Saturday. We're really excited about that. Some great matchups that are going to be happening there, including teams like Beaver Dam, Arrowhead, Wauwatosa East, Brookfield Academy, Brookfield Central, and Pius. That's going to be a very, very fun afternoon and evening of girls basketball the first weekend in January. So three big tournaments that we're doing then, and you think we're done the tournaments then, but not so fast. Here comes a big one the following weekend. We just got the notice on this week that we are going to be live streaming the Badger Conference Challenge on January 11th and 12th from Madison Edgewood High School. We're in contact with the commissioner of the Badger Conference, as well as the athletic director at Edgewood, and thrilled to be able to put something together to come out and stream all 8 of those games on the 11th and 12th. We'll do 2 games on the 11th, and then 6 games back-to-back on the 12th. The Badger Conference, and it'll be teams like Monona Grove and Beaver Dam and Reedsburg and Oregon, and a lot of others as well. So 8 games, Monroe also in that as well. So 8 games in 2 days live from Edgewood. And again, coaches, it's a weekend. I know you guys are all busy during the season. It's hard to get away, but if you want to make a road trip out to Edgewood with me and do some games that weekend, maybe I can get Coach Liebel to go, or any coaches that want to go, we'd love to have you come join us and be part of that. So looking forward to that. That's the second weekend in January 11th and 12th. One of the things that we added this year that we haven't done before is games with the Classic 8 conference, and I can tell you at the end of last season, we had several contacts from the Classic 8 girls coaches saying, boy, we'd love to have you guys, extend a little bit outside of the GMC in the Woodland and maybe do something with us. And we said, well, hey, we'll definitely take a look at that and see what we can do. And we were able to put some things together, and we'll be doing a lot of Classic 8 basketball this year. And we're going to talk about a few teams here. And again, this isn't an all-inclusive schedule. These are just kind of the highlights. But one I want to bring up is Waukesha South. We're really looking forward to spending time with the Black Shirts in November. For Waukesha South, we're actually going to do something a little bit different. We're going to kind of make a week of it. We're going to call it Black Shirt Week. This will be November 26th to the 29th. We're going to go to practice on the 26th. And then we're going to go with them to Catholic Memorial when they play Coach Nellen and the Crusaders on the 27th. And then we're going to go back to practice again on the 28th. And then we're going to be at home when they get ready to play McWanago, which should be an interesting game. And then, so we'll get 4 days with the Black Shirts, and we're really excited for that because, again, it's really about, supporting the girls and just, finding opportunities to do things together. And this should be a really fun week. So I'm looking forward to to getting out to Waukesha South for that week with the Black Shirts. And then we'll have one more game with them on January 25th when they go to Waukesha North. So a lot of time with Waukesha South this year, and we're excited to do that, and hopefully you guys are as well. But we'll look forward to seeing you at the end of November. Now, when we're talking about Mukwonago, let's just go right there next. We have 5 games with Mukwonago this year. And again, the schedule kind of just worked out perfectly for us to be able to do this. November 24th, when they play Rufus King, which should be a fantastic season opening game at the Brookfield Central Shootout. November 24th, we're going to be there to do that game with Rufus King. November 29th, we talked about that at Waukesha South. December 4th, when they play Catholic Memorial at home, we'll get to go check out the new field house at Mukwonago this year, and excited to do that. And then December 18th at home against Kettle Moraine. And then finally February 12th at Arrowhead, which again should be a phenomenal game. That's on February 12th. I want to give a quick shout out to a friend of mine that's on tonight and been a very, very loyal supporter of W7, and that is Drew Pellin. Drew, hope you're doing well, and good to see you on as always. And Coach Nee, thanks for the message, appreciate that. Or I'm sorry, Coach Luce from Waukesha South, thank you for that, Coach. I appreciate it. Looking forward to coming out and seeing you guys very soon. And Drew, thanks as always for all your support. We appreciate it. So on to staying in the Classic 8, let's talk about Arrowhead. We're going to do 2 games with the Warhawks this year. This will be a first-time ever trip to Arrowhead. January 26th, when they play the Germantown Warhawks. So it'll be a battle of the Warhawks in Arrowhead. So Germantown and Arrowhead on January 26th. And then we'll go back to Arrowhead on February 12th when they play Mukwonago. So it should be 2 fantastic games with Arrowhead, January 26th and February 12th. Looking forward to hanging out with Coach Witt and the girls for that event as well. So that's something to look forward to. Now on to the GMC. And again, this isn't all of our games. I'm just kind of hitting some highlights here. But on to the GMC, we've got a few slides left here. We're going to talk about the GMC here, and we'll start with Catholic Memorial. We're going to spend some time with Coach Nellen and the Crusaders this year. 5 games with Catholic Memorial starting November 27th against Waukesha South. We talked about that one, and Mukwonago, we talked about that as well. And then right before Christmas, we'll be at West Allis Hale as they take on the Huskies. And then the very next day, we'll head right back home to Catholic Memorial as they host Milwaukee School of Languages. So 4 games, it's like 4 games with Catholic Memorial coming up in the 2018-19 season. So Coach Nellen, get ready for us. We're coming your way. Now on to Wauwatosa East. Red Raiders, if you followed us in softball, you know that we were very fortunate to have a great relationship with Coach Rowie and the girls at Tosa East, and did a lot of Tosa East softball games, and boy, we had a great time. And we also had a great time with Coach Hendricks and the girls from the Red Raiders last year when we went over to do a game with them when they played Brookfield Central. That was during the Gauntlet Week, as we called it, when we followed Coach Liebel and the Lancers around all week for several games. So we'll go back to Tosa East for 3 games. One of them will be against Pewaukee on November 20th. That's a non-conference game. And then we'll cover them January 5th at the Hank Raymond's Classic as they play Brookfield Academy. And then when they come to Brookfield Central, we'll welcome them there on February 15th. That will be our last game of the season, believe it or not. Wauwatosa East and Brookfield Central on February 15th. If you remember last year, we had all those crazy snowstorms and delays in games and everything else. So we'll see what happens this year. But as of right now, our season finale will be February 15th. As Wauwatosa East goes to Brookfield Central on senior night for the Brookfield Central Lancers. So Coach Hendo, looking forward to coming out and hanging out with you guys this year. That'll be a great time. And Coach Hendricks is also going to do some guest analysis work for us this year. So looking forward to Coach you coming out and hanging out with us during the season. All right, getting close to the end here, just a few more to go through. Germantown, we haven't done any games with Germantown before, so we're going to start our Germantown schedule this year. November 23rd at the Brookfield Central Shootout against Oak Creek. We'll be covering the Germantown Warhawks for that game. November 30th at Brookfield Central. December 11th when you guys take on West Allis Hale at home. And then at Arrowhead on the 26th of January. So know that you guys have a crazy schedule this year, as it always is with the GMC, but also have some tough non-conference games as well. So McNeil family, we're looking forward to seeing you guys. You guys have been such great supporters of ours, and we really do appreciate that. We thank you so much for all your support that you guys have given us, and looking forward to coming out and covering some Warhawk basketball this year. All right, on to West Allis Hale. 5 games with the Huskies this year. We talked about the season opener, which was November 13th against Greendale. Also, November 24th, when you guys take on South Milwaukee, the Rockets, in the Brookfield Central Shootout. December 21st against Catholic Memorial. And then both games with Brookfield Central, January 4th at home and February 8th at BC. We'll be there for both of those games as the Liebel-Satiros wars continue into 2018-19. In fact, I talked with Coach Liebel about it tonight, and we'll have the full interview up with Coach Liebel, but she had some choice words about circling the calendar for West Allis Hale this year. So we'll put that up as well. So excited for that. So that's coming up as well. Let's do a quick break here and do another drawing. We're almost at the end. I want to try and finish right at 8 o'clock and keep it to an hour, but we've got a couple things to give away here. So let me pull up our next winner. Is going to be our pal, Mr. Jay Swanson from Sun Prairie. Coach Swanson, I'm sure you got a young lady that you can, or a significant at home that you can get this to, but congratulations, Jay Swanson. You are the proud owner of a W7 t-shirt. So we'll get in touch with you about getting that your way, so enjoy that. Okay, so I think the only thing left in the GMC is going to be Brookfield Central, which is our W7 home team. Oh wait, nope, I forgot one more. And I will tell you, lobbying gets you a long ways in life. So if there's any players on, be a nuisance, be a bother, badger people to get what you want, and sometimes it pays off, and it did in this case for our friends Menominee Falls. So Coach Langer was extremely persistent in us coming out to do some falls basketball. We hadn't really planned on it, but again, we change our minds when we see people that are really excited about the program and really want us to be part of it. And we said, hey, let's move some things around and let's go to Menominee Falls. So we will be covering 2 Menominee Falls games, both against Brookfield Central. So January 15th will be a home game for the Falls. We'll be there with you guys as you take on the BC Lancers, and then in 2 weeks following that, you guys will travel to Brookfield Central to take on the Lancers for their second game, and we'll be there for that as well. So Coach Langer and the ladies from the Fall, looking forward to getting out and seeing you guys in January. We'll work out a practice to come out ahead of time and say hello and just hang out with you guys some. So Coach Langer, thanks for your support of W7. We really appreciate that, and looking forward to doing a couple Falls games this year. Now, I'm not going to go through all these, but as you guys know, Brookfield Central was the W7 home team for this year, and our commitment was 25% of our home games are going to be with the home team, and I think we may be around 22 to 23%, but we're pretty close. So I'm hoping that the Lancers will give you some grace here, but we're going to do, I think it's 14 games with Brookfield Central in the 2018-19 season. You can see them all listed here. So this is the benefit of being the home team. We're going to do a great number of games with them, and I could talk at length about how excited we are, but we really are. We're super excited to be part of Brookfield Central Lancer girls basketball this year. We're going to do 2 boys games December 7th when they host Brookfield East, and then also January 22nd when they play at Brookfield East. We're going to do girls and boys for both of those games. So look forward to that. And also, I don't think I have the date yet, but we are planning. One of these games will be Junior Lancer night. So we're going to work with the Junior Lancer, Coach Liebel and the Junior Lancers, and put something special together for that evening as well. And again, to recognize the coaches and all the work that they put in, and obviously the kids as well, particularly on the girls' side. So look forward to Junior Lancer night, again, as part of Brookfield Central being the W7 home team for 2018-19. And that kind of brings us close to the end here. We'll have 2 senior nights this year. One is going to be with Slinger. We talked about this on February 14th. And the second we also spoke about, it's going to be on February 15th when Brookfield Central plays Wauwatosa East. So I think if you were around last year and saw some of our games, again, we get really emotional about the seniors because, you know, we know it's their last game and we really try to make it special for them. So we may also have one more senior night. We're still working with one of the coaches on that. Don't have anything concrete to announce yet, but we may be doing something more for a third senior night. So we'll see how that goes. But again, senior night's always very special to us, and excited to be there for Brookfield Central and Slinger for senior night. So that kind of wraps up our show for tonight. A couple other quick things. So the summary here, 64 games. I believe it's actually 64 games in 94 days. They're all streamed live and they're all free. You guys all know that. You know, we don't charge. There's no subscriptions. There's no anything you got to pay to do it. I mean, we believe that these girls, to support them, we want to make it available to everybody that wants to watch. So that's always been kind of our mantra. We're going to keep that. There's no plans to change that. We believe very, very strongly in that. And we've got a very dedicated core group of followers that really support us and help sustain us. So we appreciate that for all you guys did in our fundraiser last year to help us do this for the upcoming season. We can get you HD copies. We do have a small charge for that if it's something that you want to get. A lot of times this last year we had a lot of senior parents ask for games and clips and that type of thing. And happy to do that. We do ask for a small donation for that, just for the time involved in putting that together. We will be doing playoff games this year, 2 regionals, 2 sectionals. We don't know what they are yet. Obviously, we'll wait and see what happens with the season to figure out what those are going to be. But look forward to those. We'll announce those as we get into February and towards the end of our year. Last thing I want to mention is, W7 is for the girls, and I still get asked this question all the time. Are you guys really serious about, doing these girls sports? Would you be interested in coming and doing AAU boys or, football or things like that? And again, I don't have a problem with any of those sports, and, glad that people are interested in what we're doing. But, we really are about girls athletics, and we strongly believe in that. We're going to be putting out a very short kind of mini documentary this fall about the origin of W7 and how it came to be, and you'll get to understand maybe why we're so passionate about girls sports as we are when you see that. But look for that in the next few weeks. No big rush on it, but we'll have something out over the next few weeks on that. So one last thing, I want to do one more quick drawing for a final prize for this evening. And we'll see who's going to win. The winner is the Panther Girls Hoops. So the Greendale Panthers Girls Hoops account, I don't know who runs that, but Panthers, you have a W7 t-shirt coming your way, so we'll get in touch with the owner of that account and get that to you guys, and that's our winners for tonight. So our 4 winners tonight are the Panthers Girls Hoops, Coach Jay Swanson at Sun Prairie, Becky Stevens from West Alice Hale, and Coach Jim Reuter from Pewaukee. We'll get in touch with the 4 of you around getting prizes your way, and thank you guys for your support of W7. We're going to end with probably about a 3-minute video here. This is really kind of a preview of the upcoming season that is to be, and then we'll call it a night. Hopefully you've enjoyed our broadcast tonight as much as we've enjoyed being here, and really look forward to covering girls athletics for the 2018-19 season. Our first game is August 28th, volleyball, as Wauwatosa East takes on Brookfield Central. It is the first of our planned 100 events in the 2018-19 academic athletic season. For all of us from W7, we want to thank you for joining tonight. We hope you have a great evening, and we'll talk to you all soon, actually in just a couple of weeks. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and thanks again for all your support.